Greetings, peace be with you. So in this video, you are going to discover why semen retention is a prerequisite for you to unlock and access your genius, and the 3 steps that you can implement in order to unlock these higher levels of awareness so that you can tap in to these sources of knowledge beyond you, this higher frequency of thought, to create a life that you love. Okay, now if you have been following the previous videos that have been going out in this week, you know that the monk mode challenge will be going live on September 10th, this Thursday, I believe. And if you have not already, please take 30 seconds to answer these 2 questions, which I've linked out to below. It will help me help you, because I'm asking you the questions in terms of what you're struggling with right now, so that I don't miss out on anything for the monk mode challenge. Okay, so you can click the link below in the description or the comments, go out to that survey, just take 30 seconds, answer those 2 questions. It's really going to help me help you and not miss out on anything that you're struggling with right now for the monk mode challenge. Okay, now with that being said, genius, what is the first thing that comes to your mind when you think of this word genius? So if you're like most people, it's probably someone like Albert Einstein or Elon Musk, or someone else who you consider a genius. You think that a genius is a person. You think that genius is something that you either are or are not. But what I'm here to tell you is that this is a completely misunderstood topic. Okay, genius is not something that you are. Genius is something that you have access to by the mere virtue of being human. Okay, it's your birthright to have access to this. When we look at the root of this word genius, it is actually originated from ancient Roman times, whereby when a child was born, they said that the child is born, yes, and there is this other separate entity, this spirit, this guide that is separate, that then offers the insight. And once we can develop that relationship with this guide, with this higher self, you can call it your spirit guides, you can call it your intuition. Once we develop that relationship is when we access the higher frequencies of thought and can begin implementing those information sources into our lives and into our decisions. Okay, so understand, genius is not something that you are. Genius is something that you have access to just because you're human. But of course, there is an agenda to disconnect that connection. Okay, and I'm going to be sharing with you the 3 steps on how you can reestablish it and why semen retention is essential. Okay, now when we go back even further and look at the root word of genius, okay, now in the ancient Roman times, it meant that there's this other entity, right? This guy, this higher spirit. Now when we look at the root word of genius, of genesis, of genuine, of generate, they're all gene. And what this word literally means in Latin is to beget, to give birth to. Okay, now see the connection over here. The fact that the root word of the genius is to give birth to, and semen is what allows us to plant the seed into the egg and give birth to something else. And the fact that we have 500 million sperm cells in a single ejaculation, does that mean that we have been given this power to go and create 500 million new lives, which is the potential of one single ejaculation? Well, according to my research and experience into Taoist practices, into tantric practices, into ancient Eastern traditions, they would say that the purpose is not to go and recreate new lives. It is to use this energy to facilitate spiritual transformation, to access higher levels of awareness. Okay, so the key to accessing your genius, right, to give birth to gene, really comes back to linking with your semen. Okay, that's why when someone creates their seminal work, right, it's related to their semen. That's why a bunch of the most creative individuals on our planet, Nikola Tesla, William Shakespeare, Thomas Edison, all of these men, okay, it's not confirmed, Nikola Tesla was confirmed, but Thomas Edison and a lot of other creative individuals engaged in this practice to access their genius. Okay, like I said, it's not confirmed other than Nikola Tesla, but this is something that, we think, okay, is it true, is it not true? This is something that you can judge from the lens of your own experience, and of course logic as well. The fact that this creative energy that has the potential to create new life, okay, this is the source of your creative energy, right, to create new life. But when that life is not being created, we are being hijacked to let that creative energy go without any productive means. But when we can retain that energy and channel it throughout our body is when we can consciously create a life that we love. Okay, you're either the creator or you are the victim. And when we let go of our life force energy, like I shared in the previous video as well, we become the victim because we become susceptible to influences outside of us, because we are not nurturing our own seed, our own semen. We're not nurturing and allowing that seed to germinate by channeling it up towards our head. We're letting it out. Therefore, we have less energy and therefore are more easily influenced by propaganda, which, as I explained yesterday, Napoleon Hill explained as saying propaganda is any device or tool that is used to influence the minds of men without them being aware of being influenced. Okay, think about mainstream media, think about food industry, think about the medical industry, think about the education system. All of these are tools that are being used to indoctrinate a lot of us. Most of us go through this, into this robot mentality, into taking instructions, into sitting in our place and doing what we are told. And the pornography industry has a large part to play in this. Okay, now the 3 steps which I mentioned are extremely important to begin accessing your genius. Okay, these are the 3 tools, these 3 factors, these 3 pillars that, once they're functioning in harmony, allows us to actually access this higher level of awareness. Okay, now the first step is the ability to distinguish between external and internal ideas. Okay, as I've been saying, so much of what is in our mind, so much of the programmings that we are running through are not truly through us, right? How much of the stuff in your head, how much of the stuff that you do every single day is consciously chosen, and how much is unconsciously being followed through with based on reaction, based on conditioning, based on what you what you feel is right, based on your emotions. So it's very important to have a regular meditation practice. It's very important to practice semen retention, because once we retain that energy is when we can begin to actually sit in our place and differentiate between the ideas that are internally generated versus externally planted inside. Okay, this is a thought experiment which I've mentioned a lot on this channel, and that is to run an audit. That if I took every single thought in my head and put it on a hard drive and ran through it, how many of those thoughts are even mine? It's probably a very, very small proportion. I would say less than 5%. Okay, a lot of the thoughts are planted in. So we have to distinguish and be able to distinguish between the thoughts that are ours and are not ours. Okay, so much of our mind is contaminated by external agenda, and semen retention is the key to being able to differentiate between it. Okay, that's the first factor. Very important. Now the second factor is to have a vision for the future that drives you, that excites you, that gets you out of bed in the morning feeling driven, motivated. Okay, because without this vision there's no direction, and without direction you are aimless. And of course, to be able to create that vision, right, third eye, opening it up, having a vision for the future, that's something that, as far as I know, on this planet, human beings are only capable of doing so, right? To create a vision beyond our current reality and being able to follow through with that in the moment, right? Closing our eyes, painting a picture of the world that we would love, painting a picture of the life that would really make us feel in alignment with our higher self, forming that vision, because then that is what gives us the direction. Okay, once you focus on the vision, then you are focusing all around you on that which aligns with it as well. And you can learn to let go of everything that does not align with it. When you make your present decisions in alignment with the decision is when you begin accessing your genius and begin to receive insights that align you with that vision as well. Okay, and of course, if you are busting nuts all the time, then you have no energy to conceive of that image. You will just be in your place as a victim of external conditioning. Okay, now the third step is extremely important, and that is to cultivate positive emotions in the moment. Okay, because a lot of times I've experienced in my journey, when I get so obsessed with the future vision, I begin experiencing anxiety in the moment. I'm like, I don't have that vision yet. I don't have that vision yet. I haven't achieved my goal yet. I haven't achieved my goal yet. And that is when the focus comes down to the systems that we can implement every single day, keep the commitments to ourselves every single day. And at the end of the day, we feel good about ourselves because we said what we were going to do and we did what we said we were going to do, right? The alignment between what we say, what we think, and what we do is what allows us to experience those positive emotions in the moment. That's because we are coherent, right? We are coherent in ourselves. We have alignment, okay? So that is the three pillars, or those are the three pillars that allow you to access your genius. And always remember that we all have access to this. It's just a matter of establishing that connection by distinguishing between external, internal ideas, having a vision for the future, and cultivating positive emotions in the present moment that allow us to go ahead and move towards that destination. And as you implement these three pillars, that is when you will begin receiving insights, you will begin meeting the people, you will begin experiencing the synchronicities in your life that align you with your higher potential and that bring you towards the desired future that you intend to create. Okay, so with that, I will conclude this video. And if you could take 30 seconds, if you have not already, to click the link below, answer those 2 questions in the survey. It will truly help me help you in the upcoming Monk Mode Challenge, which I said will be launching this Thursday. Okay, and also, I'm sincerely appreciative to each and every single one of you that left their answers. I've been looking through them. Okay, it's given me a lot of clarity. I've been seeing the common patterns as well in terms of what it is that I can include within the Monk Mode Challenge to truly facilitate that next level of your evolution. So know that I am very grateful to each and every single one of you that took those 30 seconds and answered those questions. Okay, so the link is below in the description, in the comments. Take 30 seconds and it will really help me out, and it will help you out as well if you decide to join the Monk Mode Challenge. Okay, so I will leave you in the peace and power of the one infinite creator, wishing you and praying for your strength, for your courage, for your drive, for your discipline, for your ambition to stick with this, to stay strong, and know that you have it in your heart of hearts to become the person that you were meant to be. Okay, much love to you. Take care.